All right, I think we're live. Hi, everybody. My name is StuffnThings, and I am joined on co-commentary by my very good friend Squidman.
Hi, everybody.
And looks like we're going to be playing some Mega Man 2. Before I start, I just want to say thank you to everybody that donated to this cause. This was a very special one to me because I have lived in California for many years. I don't now, but I lived in Northern California recently, and one of the fires that affected that area this summer, I lived in that town, and I have a lot of good family and friends that still live there. So it was really important to me to do this marathon. So I'm really pleased to be here, and I want to thank everybody that gave toward the bid war. In total, the bid war made $500 plus, and that just blows me away. Thank you guys so much for your support. That's amazing. It's so much more than I thought anything would happen with my little Mega Man games here. Okay, well, I think that's it. I think we're gonna just get this underway. I will go ahead and give you guys a countdown, and we'll start this thing. This is Mega Man 2 normal zipless, so you're not gonna see that voodoo of going through walls and things that people do. And we are playing it on the American version because I like it in easy mode. So I think we're ready. So here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. And so, right, I think Squidman was going to tell us a little bit about the starting stages.
Yeah, so in normal zipless, there are a couple of stages that you could go to first. Flashman is usually the one that you would go to first in the 100% category, and it can be one of the ones that you go to first in normal zipless for safety. But a little bit faster route actually is Airman first. It saves you a couple menu items because usually what you would do is switch to Flash, but if you're doing Airman first, you have to do these really precise tiptoes over those cloud platforms. So for Marathon, we're going Flash first for safety. And so Flash is a pretty standard stage. There's almost no like real RNG in this stage. There's a few things that can be RNG, which includes the like pea shooters. They can kind of shoot down or shoot up. Sometimes they can hit you, and that's unfortunate. But for the most part, this is a pretty standard stage, pretty quick stage, and the Flash fight is also pretty standard. So that's why it's a very good and easy stage to do first.
Okay, and here we come into Flashman. Hopefully I can pull off this fight correctly. Nice.
Yeah, really good kill there. So the second stage, and like I said, these are kind of interchangeable, is going to be air. And what you'll see Stuff do is go to the Flashman weapon, which I believe is called Time Stopper, actually. Got to know the lore. So he'll switch to that and he'll use that to make the cloud platform spikes that come up like stop coming up.
Yeah, this stage I'll be going with some safety strats, even though it won't be nearly as fast as if you tried to do it really quickly. So yeah, right at the beginning I switched to Flash, activate it so that these spikes on these big spike heads don't show up for at least some of this route across here. And taking one hit there, that's okay, I'm pretty used to that. You can jump over those spikes without getting hit, it's just very precise and actually really risky. There's a good chance I could fall in the pit going for the really, really good jumps there.
Yeah, you see Stuff here. He's kind of getting to the edge of these platforms and jumping to the right. It's because he's spawning these cloud platform enemies a little bit sooner so that they start rotating towards him faster.
Leap of faith, we made it.
That makes it so you can actually get across this gap just a little bit faster. Now, you'll notice that we actually did that whole gap section as opposed to in the 80% category, you've probably seen people use item 1 to get across that. You could do the same thing here, but because this is zipless, it's actually more advantageous to use item 2 in Heatman stage to get across the gap in heat rather than item 1 for this stage. So that's why the order is Airman before heat.
And it's to dodge a clutch life pickup there. I don't want extra life in here. Here's another one, and another one. It slows you down to refill your health. I kind of did a little bit of a weird movement on that fan man, but we're fine.
Normal mode just drops all kinds of pickups.
Alright, Airman can give us a variety of patterns. There's some that I want and some that I don't. I want a 2-cycle here. And that's a 2-cycle. Okay, feels good to get past that. We're again, these first 2 stages have these very long cutscenes, especially in the American version. Apparently we read really slow when we read English, because these little messages from Dr. Light take forever to go by. And so you get a nice little breather, you can get a glass of water and kind of, you know, take care of some things while these cutscenes go by.
I will also say that while we are done with all the donation incentives and bid wars, we do have this great cause of the California Fire Foundation to donate to, and the overall goal of $5,000 to meet, which we are just under $800 from meeting.
Squid, you want to talk about Quick Stage maybe? And these light beams and how they terrified us all as children?
Yeah, so these beams that come across that you're seeing on these screens are, well, if they touch Megaman, that's an instant kill. So we can avoid them. It's actually, for the most part, fairly easy, except in a few sections where there's a little bit of precise movement. Normally, you wouldn't see some of these sections either, because in the 80% all stages category, we'd have item 1 at this point, and we would be zipping through some ceilings, but we don't do any black magic here, so we're just going to be maneuvering our way around some of these beams and going through some enemies by damage boosting before we get the quick chamber.
These mechs right here, this is what Squid was just talking about with damage boosting. Normally they're pretty terrifying, and this second one, you do run into him and take a lot of damage because they hurt. But if we only take the bullet and the one mech, we can still take out Quickman. At least since we're doing easy mode, we can. I missed a shot. Oh, okay. Got a good end to the fight. He gave me the pattern I wanted. He gave me the middle jump. To start the fight, that's the best pattern because you can land 4 shots quickly, and I was a little bit behind on my shooting speed. But he ran across those platforms at the end of the fight, and that's a really good way to get kind of caught up again. We're going to go to metal next.
Yeah, you'll see some interesting, a lot more interesting item usage, I think, in the zipless run here. You'll see this flash usage that's just enough to get past this first section with the spike chandeliers. Whereas in the glitch run, the zip run, you'd see us go through the ceiling.
Going for some flash strats again here, and on the stream, Megaman might disappear for a moment. There's a ton of sprite flicker when the flash is going on, and all the other enemies and sprites that are there. But Megaman's back now.
Yeah, and these drills here are not RNG either. They actually have a set pattern. So Stuff was actually doing some like movement there to get past those drills, especially with the weapon swap, to get past them pretty easily.
Okay, this little part here is a little tricky. Made it. And then this item 2 ride can be a little janky too. Riding an item 2 is a lot faster than walking, and so we want to cruise across the level here and avoid the enemies that are trying to get in my way. Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, pretty good heat. Or heat. This isn't heat. This is metal.
Yeah. Not a heat yet, but that's actually a reason why heat isn't early on, is because the item 1 would be useless in this stage in the zipless route.
Right. Squid, you want to tell them about this metal fight and how I don't have to really do much of anything?
Oh yes. So Metal Man is a great fight because all you have to do is kind of hold down B and then jump at him, and as long as you don't pass the center of that the boss chamber, Metal Man just kind of stands there and takes it.
Yeah, Metal Man's kind of funny. He'll move, he reacts when you push the B button. So if you hold the B button before the fight starts, he doesn't get something to react to and he doesn't do anything.
There's a few bosses across a lot of the Mega Man games that are funny like that.
Got a quick donation or no?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, we got a $50 donation from DJ Conkers.
Oh, Conkers!
It just says, good luck, StuffnThings.
Thanks, Conkers. That's awesome, dude.
Cancas! Thank you. So Stuff just did a little item 2 platform right across the first part of the bubble stage.
Shout out real fast to Daggett, who taught me that like 2 weeks ago. I did a different item 2 ride that was more laggy, and Daggett said, hey, I can show you how to do the other one real fast. And it wasn't too hard to pick up, but it was very helpful.
So one of the interesting things about bubble stage is that normally you would zip across a lot of this with an item 1, but we're going to be running through it, and much like Mega Man 1, Mega Man actually moves about at 75% speed, I think, when he's in the water.
Shrimp, why?
The movement is actually pretty slow and laggy.
I was avoiding that life pickup, and it was a stretch, and the shrimp still caught me. But because if I had avoided that life pickup and didn't get hit by a shrimp, this was like a gold pace kind of stage.
Now we're gonna come up to Bubble Man after the crabs here, and the Bubble Man can actually do one of 3 different patterns to start off. You can shoot 1, 2, or 3 bubbles at you. We usually want 1 or 2 bubbles because the 3rd bubble actually lags quite a bit.
I like that 1 bubble. Okay, now we're getting into some more dangerous territory. Next is heat. There's a lot of things that happen in heat on the zipless run. Especially in the area where there are the Yoku blocks and the towers. We're going to use item 2 to get past all of that, but it is pretty precise, and I have to conserve item 2 fuel like crazy so that I can make it across the infamous gorge, because I'm not Yoku blocking anything for sure. At least I hope I'm not.
This is actually one of the most interesting parts of the run, I think, is the item 2 usage in the second part of heat stage, because it is so like precise to get the most efficient strat.
Okay, item 2 is here. Here we go. Okay, made it. I thought that one was low. I was a little scared. Uh-oh. I got troubles. No, I can fix this. We're okay. I don't know about my fuel, though. Hopefully I didn't consume too much fuel. Ooh, it might be tight. We might be pause buffering to get past the gorge, but I think I can live. This is going to be really interesting, guys.
What he means by pause buffering is in Mega Man 2, when you use the weapon menu, you actually... and when you leave the weapon menu, you actually reset Mega Man's fall speed velocity, and so you can actually pause the game and make it like kind of float to the right by continuously pausing. So you see Stuff just did this strat where he paused a couple of times and made it over that gap where it looked like he might have been falling into the hole.
I might have been short there. I did jump a little bit early for safety because I was kind of like, I'm pretty sure I can pause buffer across this. All I want to do is not die.
Yeah, and then one of the other reasons to come to heat with Bubble is because Bubble is the weakness for heat, and it only takes 3 shots to get him down, whereas Buster would take something like 6 in normal.
So we just put out a fire.
With Bubbles, apparently.
We did with Bubbles, yeah.
All right, now crash is a big hurdle for this run. There's so much use of items in this section. And I'm actually not using the fastest strats in this stage. When you get to the part where you use a lot of item 3s, there's a way to do it really quickly, but it's got a very small window on where you can place the item 3s. It's like a 4-pixel window, and you're on ladders, and it's really kind of weird. And I've never gotten it quite locked on, so I'm gonna do what I always do, just kind of some safer item 3s when I get to that part.
Yeah, there are like, I can't remember the exact pixel distance, but there's a certain number of pixels where there's windows of 4 pixels on ladders where you can fire an item 3 to the side, and you'll actually end up firing the item 3 lower, and you'll land on it, and so you can just kind of jump off the item 3 immediately, and it's pretty precise, but can save a lot of time. And so Stuff is just going to be using item 2 here in the beginning, and then he'll switch to item 1 through the rest of the stage, and then item 3 for the infamous crash climb.
Have to jump over the mat. Okay, now we go to item 1s for a little while. And these are really precise. If you want to be really fast at this category, you've got to figure out where to place that item 1 in your jump so that you're being really efficient with how far Mega Man goes up. I'm a little rusty on it right now, but we're making it. We're surviving. It's also, Squid could tell you about this, it's really important to grab a ladder off screen.
Yeah, indeed. And Mega Man 1 and Mega Man 2 are the same way here. If you grab a ladder off screen, you actually get a little bit further up the screen. Mega Man 2 in particular, if you grab a ladder off screen, and I believe if you press down to grab the ladder off screen, you actually get a little bit of a boost. So you can go pretty far up the next screen.
Yeah, pushing down on an off-screen grab in this game actually does a lot. And it's really important here, when I get to this next screen transition, I'm going to do this B up A jump off of the item 3. It makes this climb way faster, because climbing ladders in Mega Man is very slow. We don't want to climb ladders. We want to be jumping or just flying up or using items or doing whatever.
Yeah, ladders really are one of the bosses of Mega Man, and conquering them is a challenge.
Yeah, ladders are the hardest thing.
Ladders, how do they work?
Oh, I missed my one shot. He gave me the pattern. He gave me the movement I needed. I think I fired just a hair too early. I got excited.
I think Prissy actually found a strat in this where you can fire first to the left to manipulate Crash, because Crash also reacts to your B button.
Yeah.
And you can fire to the left and then manipulate him in jumping immediately, and then just fire in a certain way to the right, and you get him in one shot. Or if you're playing, you know, the Japanese version, 2 shots. So these last 2 stages, Crash and Wood, are actually interchangeable. You can do these in pretty much any order. That nothing on one is dependent on the other, except maybe a difference in menuing. So it's kind of just up to preference whether you want to do Wood first or Crash first. And I think some people pick Crash first because it's a little bit more difficult.
I want to get it out of the way. That's why I do it first.
Oh, and Stuff has come up to this part with the hot dogs. He's going to use heat to kill this first one. You have to be careful not to jump in the screen transition, otherwise you will end up in the wall, and you can end up zipping.
Yeah, and that would invalidate this run.
Indeed. So, and then switching from Atomic Fire to Time Stopper, he's actually causing the dogs to not spawn. There's 2 more dogs in those areas that did not spawn because of the Flash Stopper. Which,
okay, I got the easy bat. Whew. Those bats are actually really hard. If you get the upper bat to come out first, he can mess up your day really easily. You can still get by him, but it's not as easy. And then this item 2, I fell off the item 2. Darn it. What you want to do is ride that item 2 and despawn the birds that are coming from behind you. So I'm just going to damage boost through. That's unfortunate.
Which means some very precise jumps over rabbits later.
And now we've got rabbit jumps. You always have these, but now I'm nervous about how much health I have. Got them all. All right.
Yeah, this category is very interesting with all the item usage, I think. The item 2s in certain spots, and just a very cool category to run.
And this is the best boss fight in the game.
Yeah, so in the difficult version, you would be using air because it's actually just faster. You can get 2 hits on air, and air is a soft weakness for wood. But in the normal version, a charged atomic fire just one-shots wood.
That's great.
So we're kind of doing the opposite of what we want right here. We're actually burning down this wood.
And this is actually a great place if there's more donations.
There are unfortunately not any donations currently, but we are getting very close to that $5,000 goal. So please get your donations in so we can reach that goal. We are helping out those firefighters, communities, and the fallen families of and the families of those fallen firefighters.
Okay, one of the best songs in all Mega Man.
Agreed. This stage is actually, the Wily stages in total are very interesting to watch in the Zipless because of all the item usage as well. So what Stuff did just a few seconds ago was manipulated that bird to come from the left side. So the birds at the top of the screen there, they come from the same direction in which Mega Man is facing, and so Stuff was able to just turn around really quickly and get that bird to come from the left side, which caused the little birds to spawn. And if at least 2 of those little birds are on screen, another bird won't actually come from any side of the screen until those are off screen. So a little bit of manipulation there to save a little bit of time.
You saw me having some serious item 2 issues there. That item 2 placement is fairly precise, and I have been missing it a lot lately. I don't know what's wrong with me. That's a nice item 1 climb. That's pretty darn sweet. We were talking about the upcoming boss before the run started. What kills a dragon? You would think, you know, ice. I don't know what else, because we were talking about it. If you're a fan of Pokemon, you might want to use an ice type. Well, boomerangs apparently are what kill dragons.
Boomerang type.
Now, let's see if I can get the quick kill without falling. We got it. It's nice. It's really nice to break that curse, because a couple of times I did the Mega Man Relay, I did another run of this, and I keep falling at the dragon. And so I made it through this time without dying. Woohoo!
So this is a stage where you need your item 2 because you got to go over the spike pit in the intended way, as opposed to how the 80% does it, where we actually end up zipping through a wall. Here we're refilling that item 2, or are we refilling the item 2?
Yeah, you gotta fill it up.
Oh, we are. Okay, yeah, you used a lot of it in Wily 1. So yeah,
I think no matter what, you want to fill it if you were using it in Wily 1.
But you get a free E-Tank.
I do get a free E-Tank that I hopefully don't need. And before I pass this next screen transition, I'm going to flash right there, because this hallway is full of drills, and they will mess up your day if you're trying to go fast. So we're just going to make it so that we don't actually see any drills, except for right there at the end.
And then we come up to the infamous Pico Picos. They have a set pattern, and I think they're actually weak to bubble, but metal is faster because you can hit the Pico Picos with metal way earlier than you can with bubble, since bubble kind of does a teeny little, arc.
Exactly. These ones way up above me, since you can throw a metal blade up, that's an advantage for sure. And you can throw it at angles like this. Metal blade is very much overpowered in this game, because you get a ton of it too. You can see how many metal blades I'm throwing, and my ammo is going down very slowly. There we are. Okay, Wily 3, where you enter Wily's sewer system. Always wondered about the water in this stage. That doesn't really look like water.
Yeah, Bubble Man didn't have a chance to really clean up, you know,
Yeah,
the pool here.
that must be the problem. Good jumps there. Ooh, we only got one fish. I think the
Yeah, those.
did the fish actually create some lag?
I believe they do create a little bit of lag, so you don't ever really want to see the
Yeah,
fish.
you don't want fish, but you get them all the time.
Yeah, we're coming up to the guts tank. For some reason, Dr. Wily is super obsessed with Gutsman, and so Gutsman continuously makes reappearances.
Yeah, for sure.
Gutsman also weak to boomerangs. His boomerang type is very strong.
Yeah, and that was actually a really good 2-jump for me. That was a pretty fast kill. If you're superhuman, you can do it in a 1-jump, but you have to be the champion of all mashing, and I don't know how that would be possible. I'm just happy when I get a 2-jump.
Gotta use your teeth like Prissy.
Right? Alright, Wily 4, where good runs go to die.
Yeah, Wily 4, known by another name, which I don't know if I want to say.
Someone in chat, I'm sure, knows what it is.
I'm sure someone knows. But this is another stage where we'll see a lot of item 3 usage to make things a little bit faster. Again, those off-screen ladder grabs that are just making things a little bit faster here and there. And so you see the stuff has just enough of item 3 to make this last little...
Yeah, it works out just right. The way I like to use my item 3s, I have just enough.
Yeah, it's pretty precise to get all of the strats, all these off-screen ladder grabs. And those time savings do add up over the course of the run.
Okay, this next room, I hate this room, no matter how many times I do it. Alright, I'll take that. I'll take that. That's good.
There's actually a bug in this room with the game where if you're in iframes in a certain time of the music, when you do that screen transition, you can get something called a delay scroll, which instead of a screen transition when you're falling through that section, it actually acts like a pit. So Megaman will just die.
And I've gotten that when I was on PB pace before. It's not fun.
It's definitely not fun when it kills your run. Especially since it's unavoidable. It just happens.
Oh, that was close. I almost messed up my item 1 to jump up to this platform that I'm on here.
Yeah, so Boo Beams is another fight that's pretty interesting. You can do this in a very optimal way where you end up doing some damage scoring, and you can kill like a couple. You can kill a couple of these with one shot. And then what you end up doing is you can take damage against the one of these Boo Beams, and then the Crash Bomb hitbox will actually expand, and you can hit the other Boo Beam with your body, and it will act as the damage from the Crash Bomb. So you can actually save Crash Bombs there, which is really good because the Wily machine, you can use Crash Bombs against the Wily machine to make it a very, very fast fight.
You guys don't have my splits. That was gold. That was a gold Wily 4. Oh, there's the one shot. I wanted that one. Ooh, good quick fight. I have to run across the room, but that's okay.
Classic refights going into the teleporters.
Oh, Airman, you're not helping. He gave me a 3-cycle. He gave me some pretty bad patterns there.
Yeah, it's actually better on normal mode to use that Buster against Airman just because it does way more damage. In difficult or in the Japanese version, you use a Leaf Shield on that fight.
Okay, I have to remember that I can do the quick Wily fight because I did the Boo Beam room perfectly, where we got that damage transfer at the end of the fight. I saved a Crash Bomb, so I get to do the fast Wily. What is up with the 3 bubble, dude? Hate 3 bubbles. They're so laggy. There's so much lag.
He gave you a 1 bubble in the
yeah
in the stage. So
and there's the other 1-hit kill for the game. Metal on metal. Kind of weird.
it's still a 2-hit kill in difficult. So developer intended.
Uh-oh. Oh, I made a mistake. You know, we had that E-Tank. We're gonna not die. I haven't done the fast Wily kill in so long that I basically kind of forgot what the timing was. But we got an E-Tank back when, so we didn't die.
See, free E-Tank.
Oh, I'm a little bit bummed that I messed up that Wily fight. I didn't really anticipate being able to go for it in this run, and then you find yourself in that situation. And you know, that's randos kicking in right there. When you fight Wily and you kind of assess, should I use an E-Tank? When should I use it? And thank goodness I've been playing a lot of Mega Man 2 randomizer lately, so that I'm sort of trained for that.
So this is what Frico calls a victory road, I believe. The long walk into Wily's chamber. For the alien fight.
Well, I am a little bit bummed about that Wily fight, but overall this run's been pretty good. If I can get the quick kill here, I'll be really happy. I think I can get it. Nice. There we go. Time. I forgot to mention that time is right when you kill the alien. So my splits say 30-16. I'm really quite happy with that, especially picking up a gold that I didn't know I could get. So I'm really happy with that.
Yeah, pretty fantastic run. Anything in the low 30s for a normal zipless run is really great.
And thank you everybody for those GGs in chat. Saw those. Oh wow, nice job on the timer. 30-16 on the whoever's doing the restream right now with the timer. Good work. I know how hard that is to do.
Yes, we're accurate today.
Yeah, really good. All right, well, while Mega Man strolls home, I want to say thank you to everybody again. Thank you to everybody with the Cal Fire Marathon. Thank you for having me, and thank you for doing the bid war. That was a lot of fun, and I'm glad we could raise a good chunk of money for this cause. So that's amazing. So thank you everybody. Thanks Speed Gaming people for having this on, and thank you Squidman for joining me.
Yeah, it was a pleasure. This was a great race, or sorry, great run.
Race.
Could have been a race, maybe. No, it's a great round, great run. And yeah, thank you for having me.
So next up will be Star Fox 64. See you in a sec.